Hi there, it's Jodi, and welcome to episode 10 of Tuesday Tips. Today I'm going to introduce you to our soft pastels, and I'm going to use an image from the prized peony. So I've gone ahead and stamped the image with Memento black ink, and I want to show you these pastels. This is something that was new in our annual catalog that came out several months ago, but I've just recently made time to play with them, and so I want to show you what you can do with these soft pastels. There's a number of things, and actually next week I'm going to show you an entirely different technique with them, so make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. So when I'm just going to pull in some sponge daubers. When I take my sponge dauber and rub it on, I can just dab or swirl the color where I want it to be. Let me take, that was Granny Apple Green. This is Coastal Cabana. And I'm putting it on there, and then some Gorgeous Grape, and adding it here. And you're probably thinking, it's not really impressive. Let me pull it in so you can see. You barely see the hint of color on that. Okay, so what I want to do is just show you the simplest little tip that's really going to change it up. So I've just got one of my clear acrylic blocks. It's actually what I used to stamp this image. So I just cleaned the stamp, took it off, and now I have my block. This is the Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to use the little end here to kind of scrape a little bit. And I'm just gonna start by pulling out the Coastal Cabana piece of chalk. So I'm going to just scrape. It's making a little bit of a mess, but it's all good. We'll just start with that much. So you see the little pile of chalk right there. It makes your piece of chalk not perfect looking, but it's completely okay. The price point on these is so reasonable that if you replace these once a year, it's just like you would a spool of ribbon or an embellishment or something. You kind of have to think of it as a consumable because in fact it is. It's just gonna last a long time. So now I'm going to dab on there and pull it in here. And do you see the difference that makes? Tap off some of that extra. So just that, just that little bit compared to what I was doing before I scraped it. It makes such a crazy difference to scrape a little bit onto a clear block or whatever surface. I just chose a clear block because it's really easy to work with and then clean up afterwards. I'll pull out the Gorgeous Grape, make a little pile of that chalk dust, and pull in the Gorgeous Grape dauber and add that. And what I want to do is just blend that color a little bit. So I've got the Coastal Cabana in the center, and then the Gorgeous Grape around the edge, and then just the blending of the two more in the middle. Isn't that fun? It's so much more dynamic. It's crazy what a difference it makes to scrape it. Let's go ahead and do some Granny Apple Green on, clean up my chalk. Oops, the cap just fell. Let's pull out Granny Apple Green and scrape just a little bit of that and do the stems and leaves. Now there are several other techniques. You can use these pastels or chalks with blender pen. You can just take, I think I have one here. You can just take the blender pen to the edge and pick up color and color in with that too. And then, like I said, I'm gonna show you a technique next week that is super cool. It's just crazy to me how much color it adds just from scraping. And you're not, you know, this is a sponge dauber. It's not a fine tip anything. You know, if you wanted to make sure you stayed in the lines, maybe the blender pen is the better option for you. But if you just want to get some soft color, let's go back and just color that one, the Coastal Cabana. If you want to get some soft color in the area, then these chalks are going to work great. Maybe add a little bit. Okay, and I'm not going to finish the project for you. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to get some really beautiful chalk. It's just such a soft coloring and blending of color when you use the chalks. But again, take a look at that difference when I scraped some onto the acrylic block. It makes such a big difference and is so much more vibrant than just going directly to the chalk with the sponge dauber. All right, I hope that you consider getting some of these soft pastels. They're really fun to work with. And like I said, stay tuned to episode 11 next week because there's going to be a really fun technique using the same soft pastels. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.